Hello everyone. So today in this multiplayer strategy series, I'm going to work on this defense towers. So now this is a defense tower that belongs to red enemies. So if one of these blue characters, these are my characters I'm controlling, move closer to this attacked defense tower, it will shoot arrows like this. And it will always choose the closest enemy, and eventually it will kill it off if I don't move away. Alright, so yeah, and you can see this guy, the tower can determine the enemies within its range and select the closest one and attack it. And also here I can change the team as well. This red part represent which team this tower belongs to, and if I make it 0, it becomes blue. That means it will no longer attack these blue guys. So instead now it will attack these red guys. See, so it attacks red guys because the team of the tower now is blue. Alright, so that's what we are going to work on today. And before we get started, as always, I'd like to remind you, you can download the project files of this project and all other thousands of projects that I have done in my channel in the Patreon page. So once you become a member, you can download the projects of all the tutorials that I have done without a limit. So feel free to check it out, and let's get back to the tutorial. So I created this model in Blender, simple tower model, and I have imported that into Unreal Engine project. And now we are going to implement a defense tower that shoot arrows towards enemies around it. So here is the model, and here in the top I have this little square which represents the team color. Maybe I should have some more stuff in the team color so it will be easier for us to understand, but basically these guys are blue and these guys are red, and here we have a green team. So whoever the team that this tower belongs will have the same color, and if this is a red tower, it will only attack on other teams. So that's the idea here, and this is just the static mesh that I have placed here. So let me delete that, and let's create a blueprint from the type of actor PP defense tower. Alright, now let me open, and I'll add this tower blueprint. Okay, and if I place this in the world, so I think it's too big in the game view. Yeah, you're free to choose whatever the scale you need, but I think the half the size may be better. Yeah, okay, so let me place it here and move these guys over here. So now this needs a way to determine enemies. So for that, let me open and remind you how did we implement the team. So here you have the team, and we also have this is enemy interface function which we have implemented through PPI character info. No, not that. Then what? PPI actions. Yeah, is anyway. So we can use that. And for the defense tower also, we need to define a variable team. Did we call it team ID? No, just team. Okay, so and team would be these guys. Have the team number 0. Okay, 0, 1, 2. Those are the numbers for the moment. So here this should be an integer, and in the construction script I'll define a simple system to change this color empty. So this is called parameter. Let me change this to team color. Okay, then in the defense tower, get the tower mesh, set vector parameter value on materials, and here I'll linear. I'll choose this 2 vector from linear color, and then I'll do a select using the team. Okay, so now we have 0, 1, 2. 0 means team blue, and 1 means team red, 2 means team green. And I'll make this team public so that we can see if I change this to 1, nothing happened. What is that? Oh, sorry. Team color. Yeah. Now you can see 0 means blue, 1 means red, 2 means green. If I put something like 5, it becomes black because we don't have any team colors assigned for that. Now I'm going to test with these guys. So I'll make this a red team. Okay. And then I'll add a function. No, not a function, an event. Custom event trace anomalies. So here I do a sphere trace. I'll use this multi-sphere trace for objects, and object types, let's make an array, and I'll use pawn. Start is get actor location. Can I use the end also? Same. I think I remember having a bug. If this is the same, it doesn't work, but maybe that's already fixed, but I remember something like that. So I'll give a slight change to the start and end, and radius let's see, 2000. You can change that, and I'll keep the debug type for duration. and in the begin play I'll start timer by set timer by event. Okay, this one I'll make it looping, and time I'll make it every 5 seconds. No, for testing I'll make it 3 seconds. Right, now let's see. Yeah, see, now you can see this trace, and I think 2000 is a bit too large, so I'll make it 1200. And one more thing, to see it looping I'll keep the draw time to 1 second, so we can see it's drawing again and again. See? Okay, now if I move these two guys, we should get a hit. Yeah, see, these dots, because we get a hit. Right, now the next step is identifying if they are enemies. So here let's have a branch, and then run this for each loop, break this so we can access the hit actor. We can run is enemy, and then attacker team is the team of the tower. If this is true, I'll print a message into the console before we implement in the attacking arrows. Enemy spotted, and then enemy's name, whatever the name of this actor. So let's see. Pay attention to the top left. If I move this guy here, enemy spotted, BP top down character. Okay, this guy also BP top down character and character 2. Okay, now if I also move this guy, this red character closer, we can see if the enemy direction works correctly. So here the red guy is already within the region of the detection, but he is not identified as an enemy because the team number for this tower is 1, and this is a red enemy which is also belongs to the team 1, so it's not registering it as an enemy. Okay, now the next step is implementing attacks. Okay, so for that I have imported this simple arrow model. We need a material arrow, maybe just simple black should be enough. Yeah. Okay, and assign arrow material. So this is a very simple model. It's just an arrow, nothing more. Now how do we implement arrows? I think it would be better if I create a separate blueprint for the arrow. Or we can have the arrow as a component of the tower itself. Yeah, maybe that approach is better. So defense tower, because I'm not planning to shoot multiple arrows same time. Okay, so here is the arrow. It's not facing the direction of forward direction. I think here, and import settings 90. No, other way, -90. Yeah, now it's facing the correct direction. So is this too big? No, it seems fine. I'll keep it in the middle. Right, now here, from out of these enemies, let's choose the closest one. So here how should we do this? I'll promote this part to a function. Okay, closest, and I'll make it a pure function. Go inside. I'll change this to enemy array. So if this is an enemy, we can calculate distance from self, that means this actor, to the enemy. And so here I'll add a variable float enemy distance, closest enemy distance, and closest enemy. This should be an actor. And as the default value, this I'll have a very big value, so whatever the distance here we get first will be less than the existing value. So if this is less than closest enemy distance, add another branch, then I'll then I'll set this as the closest enemy. And once we are done with this loop, I'll add a return and return the closest enemy. Okay, now here let's have is valid node for this return value. If yes, let me promote this to variable. I'll call it target enemy and use that instead. Now if we have a valid enemy, then hit the arrow. One more thing, I'll disable collisions for the arrow. I don't want it to interact with the collisions of the characters. And then I'll detach from component everything, keep world. What I'm going to do is move this to the enemy. So move component to target location and target rotation. So I'm going to move the arrow component from the current location to the target enemy location. So get actor location, and the rotation I need to calculate find locate rotation from current location of the arrow. Get world location to the location of the enemy. Okay, and move. So I'll use I'll keep 0.34 now, and once it moves there, I'll snap it back to the current location of the arrow. That means because the next time also I want to shoot an arrow, that's why I put it back in the same place. So that means before we move, I'll save this to variable arrow location. Initial arrow location. Okay, now once the arrow move here, I'll again set world location of the arrow to initial arrow location. Right, now for the moment it doesn't do any damage, but let's see if the movement works correctly. Let me move this guy over here. Yeah, arrow is moving. Maybe it's too fast, so we don't get a chance to see it properly. So we can get the distance. From the enemy to the arrow, and then divide it by, let's say, 2000. So it will take 1 second to go 2000 units. Let's test. Oh, initially the rotation was wrong. And also I think now it's a little bit too slow. Maybe I'll make it ease out and change this to 3000. Then so ease out means in the last part it will become slower. So I need to set the rotation directly. It shouldn't rotate in the middle. So that means here. Set world rotation. I should do it. Let's check now. Yeah, that is, it seems better. So now all we have to do is show when the damage. One more thing, we didn't test with 2 actors to see what happens. It's not choosing the closest one, so something is wrong. Right here we are not updating this closest enemy distance with this distance, otherwise we will always get the last element in the array. Yeah. Yeah, now it's considering the closest one. Great. Okay, so now I'll disable this debug type, and we already have a method to damage here, but that is for attack. No, damage. Where is damage? Oh, here. Damage, where did I implement it? Okay, here. So we can use this, but here we have a method to counter attack the attacker, but in this case we may not have one. So therefore we can do this. Let's implement a isValid here, and then I'll call this damage event. In here, once the arrow reaches the target, I'll get the target enemy and call damage, and damage amount I'll set to for now 0.3. We can change this. Now let's see what happens. Yeah, see, now it does a reaction. We don't have blood yet. I will add that later. It's not dying. Wait, how much health do we have? Oh, it's 100. Okay, so then 0.3 is not enough. we might need, let me at 30 so that we can easily kill them off. This should kill. Yeah. And it still attacks. So we should not attack dead enemies. That means I have a is. Do I have a is dead event? Yeah, is dead. So in this get closest enemy, we also need to consider if this is dead, if the target is dead. So here is dead. This has to be false, so not boolean of dead value and enemy. So end of these two should be true. So the character should be not dead and also should be an enemy in order to attack. That's the meaning. Okay. Right. Now it should not attack anymore. And this is turning. So that this one should not be under mesh, it should be under capsule. Okay, let me put both these guys. Right, now we're shooting the other one. Okay, nice. So that is working. And let me duplicate this and have a blue one, and then, well, we may have yet to work on the teams. Wait. Can I control the red guys also here in the single player mode? I can't. Alright, yeah. So in the multiplayer setting, let me play in a new editor window. Let me make this a bit larger, and red guy, no, I can't select red guy. Okay, here I can control red guys. If I move here, I'm not sure. Yeah, it can attack. Oh, wait, but why? It's not syncing. something is off. Well, I'll look into the replication part of this in the next episode. We have already taken half an hour. Okay, so thanks for watching. Updated project files will be available here in the Patreon page for you to download, and I'll leave the link in description below. And feel free to let me know what else I should cover in this episode, in this series. And see you in another episode. Goodbye.